Commissioner Gallagher.
Here.
Commissioner Cater.
Here.
There's one present.
As you wish, please stand for the invocation. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Commissioner.
Dear Lord, thank you for the days that you've given us. A little warmer, I'd like to put in that request, please. Dear Lord, please be with them all. We have a lot of them that need your help here, Lord, and a lot. Guide us and lead us, dear Lord, in the direction that you would like us to go, dear Lord. I ask that you be with us as we try to make the best decisions that we can for the county. Go forward to having some great days. Dear Lord, I ask this in your Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Consent agenda is on the board. It has been published. Motion?
I'll make a motion that we approve the consent agenda.
Second.
I'll second.
All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, we need to act on the land vacation. This is the first meeting of the quarter, by the way. This has been posted since the first of last quarter. So have there been any comments or questions at all about this? Jason, you know anything?
First I've seen it.
Okay. It was done at 1st of January. Okay, has anybody gotten any requests or anything on it? Okay, a motion to vacate that land. And you can see in the pictures that this was established way back when, 1800s.
1887, around
Okay.
there, yeah.
And you see mature trees in the property there.
Chair.
Hmm?
You didn't do it.
No,
No.
I was a kid in the gallery at the time. But you can see mature trees growing where the streets are platted. So, these landowners want this vacated, and motion to vacate.
I'll make a motion that we approve the vacate of Kimbrough, Granite, and Union Road off D and,
DD.
yeah, DD in the Noblick area.
I'll second that.
Okay, any questions? If you think a Chevy's been across those roads, you might want to go check it. Okay, all in favor of vacating those streets and alleys, please say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, approval of annual bids, food and office supplies for JDC and the assessor. Any motion on that?
We gotta get them.
Gotta get what?
Gonna say this others we got coming.
Okay, yeah, I make a motion we approve the annual bids for the JDC and the assessor's office.
Second?
I'll second.
Okay, and what was your comment?
No, I said we got bids coming.
Okay, that's another item though.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, and any questions or comments about approving these bids? Okay, all in favor, aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Now, bid opening for the sheriff's department truck. That truck might cost more than the new one did.
Looks like, what is it, Mater?
I don't know, that emblem is not a Chevy.
That's Mater's brother, I think.
Smokey.
Smokey.
Watched it too many times.
Hey, it's hard to come up with some of these pictures, so.
Yeah.
Are there any bidders here on this truck bid?
No. Didn't know if any of the bidders were here.
Anybody wanting to? take
How many
pictures
bids
of-
do you have?
We have four.
Okay, if anybody's interested, you can photograph these. If not, they'll be taken under review. We will not act on them today.
It's nice to see someone.
Take them with you. Go
Yep.
over. Bring it back to us right here,
I'll do it.
and we will make you copies.
Yeah, you want copies
Well,
before.
I have to
She has,
originals.
yeah, she has.
Okay, does that take care of that? We had the public opening of the bids for the truck. Okay, comp time limit. As of today, we're setting the maximum number of hours that an employee can have in his comp time at 80. No one, and let me stress this, no one is gonna lose any overtime pay. They're not gonna lose their comp time. It's just that we're setting that limit at 80, and we'll set up a system for paying down that from wherever they are to the 80. So it's going to be a huge budgetary hit. but we're gonna have to do this to get it under control. Now, those payments to that system comes out of that department's budget. So, okay, and I got 2 or 3 slides on this.
So we want a motion on the DD hours. Do we need to make that a motion?
Well, I've got 2 or 3 slides on that, but, okay, let's act on that. Let's limit the maximum to 80 hours. Again, no one's gonna lose any overtime pay. Okay, motion?
I make a motion, we, down the comp time maximum hours to 80 hours.
I'll second.
And that's effective today.
Effective, sorry, yes,
Okay.
effective. April
Any
7th.
questions? Okay, all in favor of setting this new maximum, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. And the payment of it, we've got, well, there it is. We're looking at a system to pay this down and get that under control. Again, no employee is going to lose any overtime pay. It's a federal law that we pay that, and we will. So, you know, I'm sure that rumors are flying, but it's not gonna happen. Nobody's gonna lose any accumulated overtime pay. Now, we have 6 employees that have more than their current comp time. And current, you can see that 3rd column. Some of them, well, most of them are 480 and others are 240 hours. These are all happen to be in the sheriff's department. And to pay those people out would cost us $75,000 plus matching taxes and other costs. So it would, just for those 6 people, it'd be something like $80,000 to pay them off. Now, employees 1 and 3 should probably look at their tax advisor and maybe break those payments up into more than one payment. Because, you know, they're gonna get hard with income tax withholdings. If they just take that in lump sum, they're gonna get hard. So they may have their tax person look at that pretty closely. And I just wanted to point that out. So, any questions on any of this? Anybody? Quite crowd. Okay, permission to bid various paving projects.
Yeah, so here's a list of the roads.
Jason,
that-
hold on 1 second, I'm sorry.
Did you guys need to make a motion to
motion.
pay out all
Yeah.
that
Yes,
money?
thank you.
We need to-
Sorry,
You
Jason.
guys can act on that.
For which part?
For the
Pay out of the
Part two.
74,000.
So go back to the last slide.
Go back to your last slide.
Okay, that part?
Yeah.
So
Okay.
Yeah.
Bill?
I put in a motion to pay the 1 through 6, the employees, their comp time over the limit that they're at. And so I'll get the 74,831.16.
That's an approximation.
That's approximation.
Because
so-
it could grow between
so-
now
Is
and
that right?
payroll period.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's my motion.
Okay, I'll second that on approval when we talk to them, how they want it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah, we could approve to pay it, but take their advice and like especially 1 and 3. They
It'll
really
come-
need
no,
to
it'll
talk
come
to
out of their
someone
budget.
about how to do this.
Yeah.
To be paid directly out of the individual department budgets,
Yeah, it has to be
Yes.
sheriff's department.
be in your amendment.
That will be in my motion.
So let's recap your motion. You want
Yes.
to pay them off with it coming from the departments and what did Kerry talk about? Oh, upon their timing of the individual.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that just brings them down to that, before today, the 480 or the 240
At
hours
their
allowed.
maximum.
So this is your
Yes.
first step to try to
First
address
step.
the
This is a step.
unfunded liability,
Unfunded liability.
liability that we have, and we may reduce that to 80 down
Yeah,
farther.
we'll
in the
do
future.
that in series of steps,
Okay.
and we'll look at the budget as we do it. And in the future, maybe going down to everybody over 400 hours, or everybody over 350, or something like that. Depends on where the numbers are and what we can afford.
Just wanted to establish
Budgetary,
that.
yeah. And again, it's gonna hit the sheriff's budget pretty hard. Okay. Okay, now, motion second, any other questions? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Now, permission to bid paving.
Yeah, so I'm looking for permission to put out for bid our overlays. Here's a list of the roads: Westover, Highway DD, which is from Double O to Marvin Chapel, I believe. Wesley Chapel, Grome, Sugar Grove, Cedar Run, Vanco, Hillsboro, from K to Lambeth, Allsbury Chapel and Patterson School Road, and Smith should also be on there.
Okay, I missed that one then.
Which gives us a total of 18.2 miles. And 1.3 million of this will be coming from the road improvement tax that we have. The remainder of it will be coming from the road and bridge fund.
1.3 million is important.
Yes, very important, allows us to do a lot.
And that tax is due to sunset in 2 more years. So we need to really look at that and make sure that that continues.
Yeah, and it really enables us to do some of these secondary or side roads that typically get ignored based on budgetary restraints, because we gotta maintain those main thoroughfares. So without this, it's really hard to have that extra cash to hit those.
You're gonna need
sectors.
probably at least $1 million to do Hillsborough from the city limits to the railroad tracks, if you're gonna rebuild it and stuff, because it's allocating cracking already.
Yeah, on this one, the
That's high
longest
volume.
one would be,
That's a short stretch.
Patterson and
huh?
Cedar Run. Patterson School Road and Cedar Run is pretty long.
Okay, motion?
Go ahead.
I'll make a motion to give permission to bid these various paving jobs.
Okay, I'll second that, but we were having a discussion on this and there over a couple of the minor roads that we've been questioned on the last couple of years, and we're gonna work something out and try to get those roads paved with extra. So, I mean, I'll second it.
Your motion isn't on the individual roads, it's on.
Hey,
Bids for paving.
Yes.
I just wanna
Yes.
clarify that.
and there is some issues that we've talked about that I think we'll get discussed, we'll get it solved. Yeah.
And Smith Road is to be added to the list.
Yeah, and just to clarify for the public, Road and Bridge is not guaranteeing that these roads are going to be paved this year.
It'll all be subject to.
Tonnage price and
That
other
time.
things, yeah.
And we just had a really big flood issue that might cost us a little here.
So once
that
we
gotta look
get
at.
the bids in, there could be an adjustment to the list based on budgetary restraints.
And this is not necessarily in order.
No.
No.
Any other questions? On favor, aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, permission to apply for grant. Okay, Mike?
Good morning. So today we're asking for permission to apply for this Kubota Community Improvement Grant. And what it entails is a short write-up along with a video detailing how we would use the money, 40% towards the community and community park improvement, and 40% towards how our equipment is essential in the things we do at the park. And then 20% of the grant will be based off of a short video. We will retain ownership of the video, but we'll have to get permission to Kubota to use it if we're chosen for this. It kind of goes along with, we've been thinking about or planning a promotional video for the park for our Facebook page anyway, so it goes right along with it. But it's a $50,000 grant. 50% of that, $25,000, is an equipment voucher for the Kubota brand, and $25,000 is in cash. So it's pretty good deal. They'll give out 10 of these. This is the 5th annual. This year's the 5th time they've done it. They'll give out 10 of them, one for each region or district in the Kubota services.
Can you use that Kubota voucher to buy a John Deere machine?
I would imagine not.
Probably not, okay.
Is there a set time frame that you have to use the voucher?
No, not as of now, but I'm sure they have a deadline on the check and stuff.
Does it target specific areas that you have to use the money for, Mike?
It does. In our detailed application, we'll have to detail what that $25,000 cash will be used for, to make sure it's used for something for the community park system. And then we'll also have to talk about whatever equipment we plan to purchase with the voucher and how it would be utilized.
Think it could be used for attachments to the Kubota equipment that you already have?
We possibly, Kubota brand, because it's just a Kubota voucher, not necessarily for equipment.
Who's your drone pilot?
My biologist, Cole
So it's all
Buckley.
in-house, huh?
Well, possibly. I mean, he's not, we don't have a county drone, so I can't expect an employee to bring in the personal equipment.
Mike, you're more than welcome to use the sheriff's department's drone.
We
for-
very well may take you guys up on that.
So if you need it, let us know.
Thank you.
Any auditions or casting calls gonna be out there? You need any actors?
Possibly. We were talking about, we just found out about this on Thursday, so we're in the initial planning. We'll take the
That's
next
awesome.
2 weeks to fill it out. But we would like to kind of coordinate with as many people as we can to get out there walking on the day that we, the day that we do our video shoot.
Don't let me know, I'll just be calling people who've been calling saying they're out there walking. It's awesome, it's amazing.
Okay. Motion?
I'll make a motion that we approve permission to apply for the Kubota grant for the Parks Department.
I'll second that.
Any questions?
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you, sir. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Tony.
Okay, next meeting will be Tuesday. We'll be back on a Tuesday schedule next time. And Good Friday, I'm a little bit early, but I wanted to remind everybody. And other business, we got a nice note from Iron County. We did loan them a machine because they had a serious flood damage in the last flood, or last storm. And so our machine, we donated a machine. They had equipment and fuel, or an operator and fuel. And we got a nice note from them for that. Any public comments? Any departmental reports? Linda?
You don't have the updated picture.
Yeah, I know, we're last phase, we got a couple more months and then
That's
we're gonna
awesome.
be done. Yeah, don't have our new building on yet. So last week, the county health department was notified from the Department of Health and Senior Service that 4 of our contracts were cut immediately without notification. We still had quite a few funds left on there that had been put into our budget for fiscal year '25. And that total amount that we will be required to send back and take out of our budget is nearly $200,000. It's $191,256. These funds went to support our food outreach that we've been doing, the Mass Produce in partnership with the Jefferson County Community Partnership, where we did the Mass Produce last summer. These funds went to support communicable disease investigations, our chronic disease management, our community health worker contract, which assisted people in our community signing up for Medicaid, how to get SNAP, and other resources as well. So it has hit us pretty hard. Right now, the health department is in good standing that we are going to absorb these costs throughout the year, but we are definitely reevaluating to see where we'll be standing. Not be returning to us. So that was, we got an email on Monday, and then Tuesday when we went to reach out to our state people for questions, there was no one there to answer us. So it comes as quite a shock to us. The other thing is we are extending our hours on a 6-month pilot program. The hours at the health department will now be 7:30 to 5:30 Monday through Thursday, and then 8 to 4 on Fridays.
Thank you. Did I hear you say you're all right for 25, but 26 is a problem?
Yeah, we're gonna actually reevaluate for the rest of 2025 too. Some of these services may go away. We're actually in the middle of interviewing people for the community health worker position. And the health educator role will have to absorb some of those responsibilities.
Are you on fiscal or calendar budget?
The health department is on a calendar, January through December. However, these contracts are different. Some may start April 1st and others October 1st. Our contracts are a little
How will the typical family that you serve notice the difference?
Well, the mass food production is going to be going away. We did over 15,000 pounds of produce last year. And we used that time to also do exercises in emergency preparedness, where all the staff took the day. We pulled out our cones, our safety vests, our walkie-talkies, and was getting good experience in case we ever come across the issue where we have another pandemic or have to give out mass antivirals to people for whatever reason. So we use that as an exercise for the whole health department. So we more than likely will not be doing the mass produce this year.
What about, Linda, excuse me, what about funding for your infrastructure?
So the ELC grant that we're sending over 100,000 back in that grant as well that we're not going to be able to now use. We wanted to bolster our infrastructure at the health department. As everybody is aware, during COVID, we were not prepared. We did not have the space, capacity. We did not have the manpower capacity. And when we did get that to a place where we were a little bit comfortable, we did have to rent out another building. We didn't have the space internally for additional staff. So now we do have a multi-purpose building that can fit at least 10 extra people, phone lines. We've added that building onto our generator so it will be available if the electricity goes down. We also do not have a room where our staff can fit for any trainings or any kind of announcements that we need to keep people up to date. So we are on the last phase of our renovations, extending our boardroom and training room so that we can fit people in there. So these grants, especially the ELC grant, was to help our infrastructure, our EHR, which is our electronic records. So everybody that we see goes into electronic records. We can pull them up to see what type of vaccines they've had, you know, anything to do with communicable disease, and so that is going to be going away.
Also, Linda, do you have any idea how it will impact, say, the construction of new Great Minds Health Center?
So Great Minds is also federally funded as well, and I don't want to speak for TR or anybody else, but I can imagine they're pretty hard hit right now as well.
And they're building that new building right now.
And I don't know what kind of grants they have under that, so like I said, I don't want to speak for Great Minds. But anything, any contract or grant that had even if it was a very small COVID component, is being cut. So for example, one of the things that we were doing was reaching out to someone that had chronic diseases, hypertension, diabetes, obesity, where if you were to get any type of respiratory virus, it really increases your chance of becoming more sick. So even though it had the COVID component, it also had other diseases that we help investigate and provide education and resources to those people. So we'll see where the health department stands. We're still evaluating and trying to get some answers from the Department of Health. I think they were also kind of shocked, you know, it all kind of trickles down to everybody.
Okay.
And about how much revenue do you receive from the county?
It is, you're going to put me on the spot, I don't have it.
It's a little over 800,000.
Yeah, just right over 800,000.
Okay.
Any
That's
questions?
sales tax revenue.
Correct, yeah.
Okay.
Any questions for Linda?
What is ELC?
ELC stands for the Epidemiology and Laboratory Capacity Enhancing Detection. I will let you have the
Yeah, I can see why the, yeah.
So included in that was
Let's
contact
just go with ELC.
tracing in the beginning, but we also did health education. We also provided information that promoted the reduction of community spread. So it's not just COVID. We are very concerned about the measles outbreak that's happening, and we're watching that very closely. We certainly don't want that in our county. That is definitely a high priority issue we're monitoring closely. So all infection and prevention, there's a very broad area.
Okay, Linda, let's say you see a growth in measles. What are you going to do?
So we're going to be out in the community. We're going to be providing immunizations as well as education. with that, we'll be monitoring daycares as well, because one thing we need to think about is if we have a child come down with measles, they can't attend daycare. That's gonna provide a hardship on families that can't go to work because they have to stay home. So it entails so much more than, just the disease investigation. We look at our whole community and how that's gonna be impacted.
And the brothers and sisters can't go to daycare either.
Correct.
Right.
School-age children. And this is not just for the person that would have the disease, it's exposures we look at as well.
Now, we're talking primarily children.
Children, yes. But if an adult as well gets
Well,
measles.
Back in the ancient times,
Yes.
we all got shots for it, and I
Correct.
guess that's a lifetime.
Yes. And we do have those available. And at the health department, one of the other grants that cut was COVID and adult immunizations. So right now, the health department does provide adult immunizations. We do have a program in place where we can bill your insurance if you have insurance. But the state also provides a program that if you're uninsured or underinsured, we can provide that vaccine free of charge.
So if what's your age and I'm not sure I was vaccinated, what should I do?
So give us a call. We'll look at, if you don't have a shot record, we will go through a scenario. We'll ask you if you're a healthcare worker, child care provider, what year you were born, that we all take all of that, we take that into consideration.
And just to clarify, Linda, so your funding that we're talking about now, is federal funding that's passed through the state?
Yes. So federal funding that goes through the Department of Health and Senior Services and then comes to us.
So who cut? Federal?
Yes.
Which trickles down into the state,
Which
Comes-
affects our community.
comes back to you.
Yeah, and right now, these are the ones that had a COVID component.
All right. Any other questions? Mike? Oh, I thought you did. Okay. Any other questions at all?
Yeah, not for her, we're good going.
Okay, well, thank you, Linda.
Thanks, Linda.
Thank you.
Yeah, department reports. We went over 1,000 voters, early voters on Saturday. We were open 8 till noon. We're open from 8 to 5 today. Currently, what we normally get is about a third of the people voting early. So we're running it somewhere under 15%, probably 15% turnout. Just want to remind you, we're voting on 2 major fire department bills in the northern part of the county. We've got 3 major mayoral races, we've got school board races, we've got city council races, and we've got 2 bond issues in Farmington. And we're running less than 10%. So we're hoping to get it up to 12 or 15%, but if you haven't voted, get out and vote. You got till 5 today, or any precincts are all open tomorrow morning, early, 6 o'clock till 7 tomorrow night. So get out and vote there, please. I don't know, if we have county employees that have, we need to pass an ordinance to shoot them.
I don't think
Didn't
that's.
you do this before?
Mike, you didn't hear that.
Get yourself in.
And tomorrow is election day.
It is.
And today you voted Election Central.
That's an election.
Okay, and tomorrow you vote at your precinct.
Yeah, so get out and vote if you would.
Yeah, and you hear people say that my vote doesn't count. In a low turnout vote like this, it will count.
Yeah,
It's
we've
important.
had 3 in the last 6 years in this April election ties. And it'd be nice not to have ties and have to go through the expense for these places to redo their.
And we've already bought your ballots, you might as well go ahead and fill it out, so.
If you need help.
Okay, any other, okay, let me go ahead.
We bought the printing, we paid for the printing of your ballot, is that what you were saying?
That's what I meant, what did I say?
You said we bought their ballot. That's Chicago.
Yeah, we've got the ink that goes on the paper for the ballot, okay.
Let me know if you need any help.
Okay, sales tax report for the 3rd month, we're down a little bit on the sales tax. And, there's a trend there, but we're up on the Prop P of the use tax, so these are fewer dollars, of course. So we see kind of a leveling there, and it looks like more people are shopping from home. So, Sheriff's Department, Mike, you gonna do that?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sheriff's Department. See, last week we had 349 calls for service. So the total year to date is 4,951. So that's pretty good, seeing as how we just started April. Our inmate population is 14 females, 112 males for a total of 126. Last year we did not last year, last week we didn't have anybody in training, but we did start our RSAT program and actually have people in the program. They started working on it, doing the MRT training, which is the moral recognition therapy. We are still currently looking at a counselor to bring on, and which will be paid through the grant. So there's a couple that I've reached out to. Hopefully we'll have something done by the end of the month on that one. And then we only have the one thing coming up on April 11th is our blood drive at the sheriff's office. So we're trying, the one that we had earlier in the year, we had 40 people there. We're trying to get another 40 individuals to show up, and that is on April 11th. The Red Cross is actually down on their supply due to all the tornadoes that we've had in the last several weeks. So we're asking people to come out and donate their blood on April 11th. It's at the sheriff's office in the training room. I do have some flyers if some of you guys can put in your lobbies here so people can see it.
What time?
I don't have, well, let me see. It is at 9:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. At the sheriff's office on Dubay Road.
Mike, last time that was pretty successful too.
It was.
Are they ready for more this time?
Yes. Yeah, they're ready for more. And Lieutenant Harris told me that the Red Cross is donating like gift cards for people that come and donate blood. There should be some gift cards or some swag, t-shirts and stuff like that that they'll give out for, that's available there.
Jill swag.
Yeah, donate blood swag.
Mike, I missed your population, what was the population?
126 total.
126, okay.
Last week was 130, so we're staying steady.
All right, any questions for the sheriff's department? Thank you, Mike. Road and Bridge.
Well, I want everybody to be prepared. We're cleaning up from flood damage. In case nobody noticed it rained. This is actually Old Fredericktown Road. And what occurred here is,
Very
asphalt got out of its bank, and it actually lifted the asphalt and moved it 4 foot downstream. So the asphalt used to be over there next to the guardrail. So our plan there is we're tearing the asphalt out. We're gonna fix the gravel for people to be able to traverse through there, and then we're going to come up with a doable solution to hopefully prevent this from happening in the future.
On Friday, you literally take that picture right there and you couldn't see any of that.
No,
Water
it
was
all
above
under.
all that.
It was actually over
Yeah.
the
The guardrail. Yeah, you couldn't see the guardrail.
And this is Wolf Creek, and it's up and down almost immediately after the
Yeah,
rainfall.
all the water got out fairly good. I mean, down south ain't like that, but it's getting out from here. So, I mean, what we're doing today, obviously, is we're working on this and we're clearing a lot of that debris that got pushed up against our culverts, box culverts throughout the county.
You can see at the high end of that picture that the pavement is still over by the guardrail.
Yeah.
Now, really, last year, this flooded, we had to replace the guardrail, so the guardrail stayed intact.
Right, it
Yeah.
did undermine a lot of the rock,
Yeah.
so we'll address that in our fix too. And you can't see down by the bridge, but where we moved this, it actually pulled it from the bridge deck too, so there's a gap between the asphalt and the bridge deck.
It amazed me how the asphalt stayed as a unit.
Right, and it's because it's fairly new, so it's still pliable.
Yeah.
Alright, if it'd been old asphalt, it would've broke up. We did have some people throughout there move our barricades and drive across this, so, they were pretty brave. Because this first little wrinkle here is about 2.5 foot tall. I mean,
That's just nuts.
so that's what we're doing today, is doing some cleanup. And I'd like to take time to introduce our 3 new hires. So we got Travis LeBrier, Bobby McLean, and Austin Giensler.
Hi.
These are new laborers that started today.
Thank you, guys.
Boy, is your world about to change. Welcome.
And that's about all I got for you today.
Awesome. Any questions for the road and bridge? Look at the screen.
I have a
Oh, yeah.
park report. We finished clearing the phase 2 trail, which is around a mile, which is what we needed to get done by March 31st in order to continue with the construction of phase 2 trail. So as soon as the design and engineering gets done, we'll be able to get that out to bid. We've made pretty good progress on the DNR invasive removal that we've been working on for this project. We received verbal confirmation that we've made the short list on the last RTP grant that we applied for about 2 months ago. We weren't looking for any kind of verbal confirmation until about September, October, so the fact that we've got it so early is pretty encouraging. If we do secure it, that'll put the park right out of around 1.2 million in outside funds that's been brought in the last 15 months. Yeah, without it, we'll be sitting around 950,000 or so from outside. That, for the most part, has all been kept within the county. Pretty much everything we've paid out.
Well, we're sure getting good reports on the park, and people like it, and thank you so
Oh,
much.
yes, yeah, I mean, we run about a 99.9% approval.
Yeah.
And the only negative that we've had is no boat ramp. Well, this grant that we just applied for, that we got the verbal confirmation for, addresses the boat ramp. So we'll be putting in a new nice boat ramp for the floaters that put in up at the Leadwood access and then take out there at Owl Creek.
How's the parking holding up? Is it big enough?
Actually, in that grant is parking lot expansion also. So the three things that were in it is the boat ramp and water trail, which is a little kayaking trail that will go up Owl Creek, and then also the part, a pool of Big River. The second part is parking lot expansion with asphalt parking, and the third part is a shade structure over our kiosks. And that also, we have stream bank stabilization and habitat improvement in on that grant as well. And also, we have set, it's not set in stone yet, but a tentative date for the grand opening makeup is May 21st. We should have confirmation on that by the end of this week, hopefully in the next 2 days. I'll get something put out, so by next week's meeting, I'll make an announcement on it.
And we'll get it out to everybody that had questions.
Any questions for Owl Creek? Hey, any other departmental reports? I forgot to ask that. Now.
Motion we adjourn.
Second.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Thank y'all, appreciate it.